Hi and welcome back to the Books Are Everywhere. Today we are doing an unhaul, another unhaul. I don't know how much I've spoken about this. I feel like I've said this a few times in videos now, but I think having my own house, like having my own space, has made me want to cut down on stuff, even though I have more space. It's really weird. I think it's because I know that everything, like this space is mine, so it's completely mine. So anything that's like taking up space that I don't love and like want in my space, I just want to unhaul it. Like, be that books, clothes, anything. I've had like a lot of I've started having sort outs kind of this week, and it's been kind of building up in my head for the past few months since I've been here, really, that I wanted to like do a clear out, and that kind of includes books. So there was some that I was kind of already thinking about while the books were in stacks in the other room, and I want to kind of go through the shelves again, but this video does have a bit of a twist. It's not going to just be like every other unhaul I do where I go through stuff, and the main reason why I unhaul stuff normally is because I've read it and I don't want to read it again. This one's going to have a bit of a twist because I'm going to attempt, for the first time I think ever, consistently unhauling a bunch of books that I have not read. And I know that sounds silly, and maybe it sounds unproductive and counterintuitive, that why would I even own these books that I haven't read yet if I don't want to read them. But I've had some of these books for a very long time, and I think a lot of the ones that I want to unhaul I didn't necessarily buy myself. Maybe they were gifted to me, or maybe they were sent unsolicited from a publisher, or I had in some kind of like PR pack, I think, for a lot of these. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more brutal than I ever have been before, because I have seen no movement on my massive TBR in a long time, and it's getting really frustrating. And I think I'm coming to a realisation that I can't seem to read at the speed that I want to in order to decrease my TBR. And if I can't do that, something has to change, because I'm feeling very frustrated by it. I think I've been in this position for a few years now where my TBR has been above 250 books, physical books that I own, and I just can't seem to get it down. I read consistently over 100 books a year, sometimes well over 100 books a year, and it's just not going down. So, and like keeping a track of what I'm buying and stuff is not really helping. I think a lot of the stuff I end up getting from publishers anyway, so I don't actually end up buying that much. I did have a period this year, like the start of this year, of being a lot better, but I've just actually received quite a lot from publishers, which obviously I really appreciate, but it does mean that the TBR is not going down. There is also one specific book that we will get to which has prompted this. So yeah, I don't quite know how this video is going to work. I think a lot of it will actually be me looking at my shelves and looking at individual books. My idea for this one is that I am going to go through my shelves and look at stuff that I've read and look at stuff that I haven't read. And then I'm going to read the back of the book and try and view it, and I've seen other people doing this. I'm going to try and view it as, would I buy this book now? Say maybe I bought this book like 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago is extreme. I don't think most of the stuff is as old as that. But say I bought it that long ago and it's not going to interest me anymore, and I've just never gotten around to reading it. Or say, like I said, I didn't necessarily choose to pick this up, but it was gifted to me in some way. Would I buy it now? Would I put my money into it? And if the answer is no, or if the answer is I think this is going to be a three star for me, why am I keeping it? Why am I spending my time doing that? So I don't know how brutal we're going to get. Like, I have an idea of some of the stuff that I do want to unhaul, and there's not that many. It's not a massive list, but yeah, we'll see how we go when we start. But the first thing I want to do is to take you through the books I've already put to the side. So there's been an ever-growing pile of stuff that I wanted to unhaul, and I think I've already read all of this stuff, and then we will kind of go on to that other part of the video. So I will quickly show you those. I'm not going to say why. I always say this, and then I do end up explaining why I want to unhaul every single book. I'll try and give you like a well-known of why I want to unhaul every single book, rather than holding you here for ages, because you don't need that much information, you probably don't want it. So let's get started. These mainly came from me actually sorting these shelves out, realising that these books have been in my stacks or in boxes for a long time, and maybe I'd like forgotten I owned them, or I wasn't that excited or bothered to be pulling them back out of the boxes or out of the stacks, and that's what prompted me to unhaul them. Let's do a quick fire. Read this on audio, I think it was 3 stars, don't want to read it again. Enjoyed this, don't want to read it again. Short story collection, always enjoy some more than others, won't read it again. I am downsizing on my Cassie Clare special editions, so there is a couple, including this one as well. As pretty as they are, I need somewhere to put these books. I need to downsize on my collection a little bit. The only one that sustained damage, some kind of maybe water damage in the move, and is also 2 short stories that are published elsewhere. Don't need it. Short story collection, won't be reading again. I always enjoy some stories, obviously, but that's not how it works. Another Cassie Clare in my downsizing. I enjoyed this, it's very pretty. I don't see myself reading it again. I ended up listening to this on audio, and I will continue the series on audio. I'm thinking I do want to continue with this. I haven't yet though. Probably won't read this again, but I did enjoy it. Same with this one, although I have a connection to this one. I loved this as a teen, but I don't think I ever read this copy. I read a library copy, and this is like a second-hand copy as well. But I need to face that it's not that nostalgic to keep it, and I'm not going to read it again. I really enjoyed this. It had a special place in my heart at the time, but I'm not going to read it again. Some more that just as much as I enjoyed at the time, I know I'm not going to read again. This one, I think I would prefer the paperback of. This is a hardback proof copy, but it's an awkward size. All of my Karen and McManus books are paperback, so if I do keep this in my collection, I will get a paperback. I think it's more likely that I want to unhaul that and One of Us Is Next, because I don't enjoy those as much as her other books. I enjoyed this one, don't see myself rereading it. I didn't enjoy this one that much, won't be rereading it. I listened to the audiobook of this one, won't be rereading it. And I am finally unhauling my Marvel collection. I am not a massive Marvel gal, and I got these specifically because there are authors in here that I love, like Sarah J Maas and Leigh Bardugo, so I ended up with the collection. I haven't read them all, but in reality, as much as I like the authors, I just don't think these are going to be for me because they're Marvel, and I'm not a massive Marvel person, and I don't need to be, it's fine. So those are all of the books I have, I think, so far that I just have put to the side prior to this video. The one that I haven't spoken about yet is Rush by Saskia Roy, and this is the one that's prompted this video and prompted me going through unread books on my shelves and trying to unhaul some. Because I accidentally, so I was trying to find the highest rated book on my TBR for a prompt, or I was trying to find stuff over 4 stars, and I put my TBR the other way and found my lowest rated books on my TBR, and this was the lowest rated book on my TBR. This sounds like it's awful. This is a copy from the publisher, a proof. It came out last year. It's an F1 romance, like a Formula 1 romance, and I did actually have it on a TBR last year, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't get to it. People say that they like have sex in the first chapter, it's completely insta-love, but also like he does some really abusive and weird stuff in the relationship, and like gets her to sleep with other people, and it just sounds like it's going to be really weird and not enjoyable for me. But yeah, this just prompted me to think, like, why am I keeping this on my shelves? I don't normally try and put that much into reviews, like that much faith into reviews, or take that much from them, but if across the board something is like 3 stars in the community and it has consistent bad reviews, like, I'm probably not going to enjoy that. Why is it still on my shelves? So I did go through some of the other stuff that is like low down on my, like low down star rating wise, and consider whether that's something I would actually buy now anyway. So I have a kind of an idea of like maybe 5 books in my head that I want to unhaul, definitely, just off the bat because of looking at reviews like that. But yeah, I'm going to put this one to the side. And then I'm going to go through my shelves. The first like pass I'm going to do is to look for stuff that I have already read. Then I'm going to do a second pass where I look for stuff that I haven't read yet, so I can keep the numbers separate and tell you how many I'm unhauling that I've already read and how many I'm unhauling that I haven't read yet. So I'm going to put these to the side and then get started on going through my shelves for stuff that I've already read.
Used to ride my bike just like the movies, flying through the leaves, falling past me, and I could forget about the bad days. It was the only time that I was free. Never thought LA could feel this lonely on my own.
Okay, I don't have too much to add to the pile, but that was kind of what I expected anyway because I've recently gone through my shelves for stuff that I've already read. I also realised I felt like I was saying Marvel earlier and I meant to say DC. You can tell I'm not really like a comics or Marvel girly, but anyway. The stuff that I want to unhaul that I have already read or possibly have other editions of, I will quickly explain. Greenworld, I listened to the audiobook for this recently and I won't be reading it again. The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. Fun fact, maybe a little known fact, this is actually what this YouTube channel, my blog, is named after. I love this book so much. But I bought this anniversary edition on a whim. It doesn't mean a lot to me in terms of an edition and a copy. My paperback obviously means a lot more. That's the one I originally read. This is very pretty, but I don't need it. I don't need 2 copies. Then we have One of Us Is Next, which I kind of already mentioned. The Falling in Love montage, I really enjoyed this when I read it. I think I read it in lockdown, but I don't think I'd enjoy it as much now if I read it again. So that one is going. The XX by Erin Sterling, I enjoyed this enough. It's probably the like Halloween romance that I've enjoyed the most, but I never continued the series and I just don't feel the need to keep it. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is one of those books that I'm holding on to because I'm hoping at some point I will reread it and I will get the hype. I did like it, but I definitely didn't get the hype and I didn't enjoy it as much as most people do. So I think in reality, if I read something by Silvia Moreno Garcia again, I will read something else rather than rereading this one, and I just need to admit that to myself. I'm not saying that I was like that brutal with everything, so there definitely is other things like The Song of Achilles and Cloud Cuckoo Land that I am holding on to, hoping that I will reread them and have a different experience with them at a different time. But that one, I just think I would read something else by that author. Then we have a couple of graphic novels, Moonstruck Volume 1, which upsets me because I bought this one at Gaze the Word in Hay on Y. No, I bought it in Gay on Y in Hay on Y, but I didn't enjoy this as much as I thought I would, and I'm not going to continue with the series. Then I have Wonder Woman Warbringer, which is the graphic novel of the novel I'm also unhauling. I didn't enjoy this one as much as I wanted to, and I think that's probably also a reflection on the novel version too. So that one's going. And last but not least, Messy Roots, which I really liked this as a graphic novel. It's a proof copy, so it's not like a finished colorization. Like the colour is at the start and then it goes into black and white. It's a great book. I love this. I'm probably not going to reread it, so it's not a massive stack, but as I said, there's already quite a big stack next to me of stuff that I'm unhauling that I've already read, so I'm just adding to it really. These are going in the pile. Okay, it's the hard part now. It's time to go through my shelves and pick off stuff that I haven't read yet. I'm really intrigued to see how this goes and to see if I actually end up on a roll and getting rid of a lot of stuff, or if I just don't because I struggle to part with stuff. So let's get started. I'm probably going to start with the stuff that I already know I'm going to unhaul, considering on what I've seen online and stuff, and then we'll kind of go from there, and I will go through my shelves and I'll come back to you guys with a stack and we'll go through them.
Because I'm drowning all alone. so tired of crying, crying, crying. Don't wanna keep pretending that I'm alright. These days I feel so empty when I'm trying. And I'm so tired of crying, crying, crying. 17, I moved away. I tried to escape. New chance to start again. I had my first drink and I made lots of friends. So why don't I feel the same? Never thought that I could feel this lonely on my own. Someone pull me out.
Okay, that went, I guess, better or worse than expected, depending on how you look at it. I think better than expected. I got on a roll, like I said might happen, and I was a little bit more brutal than I thought, which I'm honestly quite happy about. I think this is going to be a weight off my mind and my shoulders, and I'm going to feel like really glad that I've actually done this when all of these are removed from my TBR. This is definitely going to be the lowest my TBR has been for a long time. And I'm hoping that that will kind of give me the momentum to carry on as well in some way or another, like read quicker, read more, haul less, unhaul more. I don't quite know yet, but... And also be stricter about what I'm adding to my shelves. I'm definitely a lot stricter than I used to be, and I kind of will go through that as I talk about some of these books, because some of these are definitely that I've made for a rod for my own back. I think I definitely used to get caught up in the hype a lot more and found it hard to be like, that's not for me. And I don't need to like everything just because other people like it, and I don't need to own things because other people own them. So I'm glad that I'm at that point in my life now, and I definitely haul stuff based on what I want to read and what I will think I will enjoy. And I'm also a lot better about reading the proofs that I get straight away from publishers, and I'm really on top of that so far this year, which I'm really pleased about. Anyway, all that aside, let's go through the books that I have decided I am going to unhaul. So, the ones I literally just pulled off the shelf are Gilded and Cursed by Marissa Meyer. This is a complete example of what I was just saying about being caught up in the hype. These are the Fairy Loot editions. They are absolutely beautiful in some ways. I don't know if I actually like the look of them that much on my shelf. They're also an awkward hardback size. I think there may be a third one that I didn't buy. I don't think I would buy these now. I don't think I want to read them that much. And also I have read Cinder by Marissa Meyer and I didn't enjoy it that much. So what possessed me to get these other than the hype and the fact they are pretty, I do not know. But I'm admitting this to myself now. These are going. And they're going off the TBR. Next we have the Heartstopper yearbook. I don't know if I can exactly say if this is unread or if this is read. There is a gift card in the front of this book. That's mad. I wonder if there's any money on that. Okay, I'll find that out. Yeah, I feel like I probably do have this marked as read on Goodreads. It's basically just loads of extra stuff about Heartstopper and the characters. I love it. I don't love the design of this jacket too much, to be completely honest. But yeah, this is not something that I really refer back to, and I'm not going to reread it, so I think I've read it technically, but it's more of like a flick through. Then we have a couple of proofs that I honestly think I have just grown out of now. A lot of this stuff is young adult and I just don't think I would enjoy it that much anymore. These came out in 2023, so it's been 2 years. I can't remember if I actually requested these or if they were maybe sent as part of like a bigger package. But we have Julieta and the Romeos, This Is Not a Personal Statement, While You Were Dreaming, and Out of Character. Very, very sorry to HarperCollins that I didn't get around to reading these. As I said, I am a lot better about reading my proofs now, and I will hold my hands up that I have not always been like that. But I'm being very strict on myself at the moment. But yeah, I just think I've outgrown these now, and I don't think I will get that much enjoyment out of them anymore. I feel like those have been the ones that have been really holding it over me. Like I feel such a weight to read them, and I know I'm not gonna give them above a 3-star, and then I never read them, and it's like a vicious cycle. Anyway, the next one is A Dark Inheritance. I think somebody gave this to me and I was not that interested in reading it. I'm not that interested in reading it now, so this one's going. I also have How to Die Famous by Benjamin Dean. I love Benjamin Dean's work, but I recently read The King is Dead, so Benjamin Dean seems to have gone on to do more this like YA thriller thing, and it's not necessarily what I want to be reading all the time, and I feel like once you've read one you've kind of read them all sometimes, and that maybe that's too harsh, but especially seeing as I read something else by this author in this genre and it was okay, I did enjoy it, but I think I gave it 3 stars. I don't necessarily feel like I need to read another one. There is another one of the same trend in the pile that I'll get to shortly. This one, same trend. I've read another book by this author. This is even compared to like One of Us is Lying. And this author is the same author as, I cannot even remember. And I think this one was first, so I'm not going to find out because I don't have it on my shelves anymore. But yeah, I've read the other book by this author. I enjoyed it enough, but I feel like I won't get much from reading this one as well. Then there's a couple that I actually won a couple of years ago before their release. So this was actually only last year, I think, or maybe it was late 2023. Didn't necessarily pick these, I won them as part of a bigger bundle. But that's The Love Interest and Not Like Other Girls. I just read the synopsis of these and I think these are too young for me to enjoy now, so we'll be passing those on. Then we have Not My Problem, which is the same author as the Falling in Love montage, which I just unhauled. I loved the Falling in Love montage. I think this one didn't come out too long after, so I picked it up straight away and I never read it. If I'd have read it then, I'd have probably loved it, but now I think I'm going to find this one too young, and as I've just unhauled the Falling in Love montage, I'm going to unhaul this one too. Then we have Even If We Break. This was also one of the lowest rated books on my TBR, which is such a shame. I actually quite enjoyed This Is How It Ends, or This Is Where It Ends, by the same author, but this is just never picked it up. I don't know why, but I just think I'm never going to, so this one's going. I then have The Three Dahlias by Katie Watson. I picked this up at an event, I think, and I've never gotten around to it. It's a cozy crime, it's not something I would buy, so I shouldn't have picked it up when I did. I then have Home. This was also gifted to me. I think my mom read this and enjoyed it, but maybe it's not unlike other things that we've both read. The next one is Topolo Blue, or Topolo Blue, I don't know how to pronounce this. I haven't read this, I haven't picked it up since I got proof of it. I don't exactly know where I got proof of it. I think I might have picked it up at another event. And this is just not something that I'm going to read. I don't know why I picked it up. It sounds vaguely interesting, but it's kind of historical-ish. And it sounds very literary, and I've not picked it up for a reason I don't think I'm going to now. Next is a big one. It's the Dangerous Remedy series by Kat Dunn. I read the first one and I didn't enjoy it that much. I had heard this one be compared to Six of Crows, and Book's Nest, Beth from Book's Nest, from Beth Bartholomew, absolutely loves this series. So I picked these up before going to Yelk and meeting the author, so I think all of them may be signed, or maybe just the first one. But I read the first one and I didn't enjoy it very much, and in reality I just don't see myself continuing with this series. I've always thought I would have to reread the first one anyway because it's already not stuck in my head. But in reality, I don't need to keep this just because other people enjoyed it, it's fine. Next are a couple of proofs I don't think I ever requested. I think these were unsolicited, and that's Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. This is a mermaid book. I don't really get on with like books about mermaids and the sea. I don't see myself picking this one up. And then there's The Sun and the Void. This was another of the lower rated books on my TBR. I did have this on one of my monthly TBRs and I didn't pick it up, and I think if that push didn't help me. It's very thick and the text is very small, and with the reviews that I read as well, I don't think I'm going to pick either of these up anytime soon. The next ones, and this kind of pains me, but it's The Gilded Ones and The Merciless Ones by Namina Fauna. I think there's another special edition that I didn't pick up. These are YA fantasy. I haven't picked up the third one. I don't know if I could get the matching edition, not that it really matters. I just don't think I would enjoy this very much, to be honest, now. Maybe when I was younger I would have done, but I think I am too old now to get the enjoyment that I want to out of this. And as I said, I never picked up the third one. This is probably one of the books that's been on my TBR for the longest, and I've never picked the series up, which is sad, but it's time to go. And then, last but not least, in this little pile, we have With Fire in Their Blood by Kat Delacourt. I've just read the synopsis of this and I just don't think I am going to enjoy it that much. I don't think I would pick it up now. I think this is also YA, and I'm okay with letting go of it. And then we have Rush, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, during filming I had to stop and move stuff onto my laptop, so I did actually pick a couple of other books off my shelves. This is a mixture of stuff that I've read and stuff that I haven't read yet, so I'll just quickly go through those and then we will be done. The next one also kind of pains me, and that's the Penguin book of Korean short stories. I really want to pick this up, but I just don't see myself ever reaching for this. The text is so small, the margins are not that big, and as much as I want to pick this up, it's one of those things that I don't see myself making the time to do. So I think this one, it is time to go. This is one that I think if it comes back to me in any form in the future, I wouldn't be upset about it, but it's quite a big book to keep on my shelves and I just don't see myself getting the motivation to pick it up, so I'm gonna let it go for now. None of these have to be forever. If these books make it back into my life at some point and I then read them, like, that could happen, you never know, and this is one of the ones I genuinely see that could happen. I think Penguin have actually gone on to do a whole collection of these and I would be interested in them. It's just not something I make time for at the moment and I don't see myself making time for it in the foreseeable future. That's not to say that I never would. The next one I guess you wouldn't say is a read of any kind, it's a colouring book, it's the Heartstopper colouring book. I have actually started colouring recently, so this would be a great time to pick this up. Maybe that's what's made me realise I probably won't ever do that. Feels weird to colour in Alice Oseman's work because they're amazing and I don't know, I don't want to intrude on that. This feels like intruding and I just don't think this is something that I would enjoy colouring. I think it would feel odd. And I love Heartstopper, but yeah, I don't see myself colouring this, so it's time to go. Then I also randomly have Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. I loved this at the time. I don't think I'm going to reread it. And then, last but not least, we have Swordcatcher and The Radpicker King by Cassandra Clare. I've literally just finished these on audio. I did not enjoy them that much. It took me so long to get through the audiobooks. They are thick, as you can see, and they did not keep my attention. I do not see myself picking the third book up in this series. I wish that these had the Shadowhunter feeling that I had when I read all of the Shadowhunter books, but they just didn't. I'm glad that some people do get that feeling from them. They don't give that to me. So yeah, I'm going to pass these on. I think Alex really wants this edition. These are the proofs. She's got a proof of the first one. I don't think she's got a proof of this one. I think she'd be overjoyed if I gave this to her. So that's at least where the Radpicker King's going to go. Okay, give me a sec to count and then I will come to you with like a wrap up for this video. Okay, this is crazy. We have 32 books that I've already read and 33 off my TBR, which is kind of cool. Although actually no, they've ended up mixed up a bit, so that's incorrect. Hang on. Okay, hang on. 35 books that I've already read, and I think 30 that I haven't, if my maths is serving me right. I don't know if it is. I think that's right, because yeah, I think it's right. But anyway, 30 books that I haven't read, which is still quite a chunk off my TBR. I'm quite excited to be able to cleanse my TBR in a way. As I said, it's going to be the lowest it's been in quite a while, which is really exciting. I do have some stuff that I need to add to it, but this will help a lot. So I think that's what I'm actually going to go and do now. I'm going to sit and actually move some stuff around on my spreadsheets and on my accounts and stuff and get this all squared away. But I am really chuffed with this video. I feel like this is going to be a weight off my mind as well. Like when I'm looking at my shelves, I won't have that pressure like to consider those books that I don't really want to read but I feel like I have some obligation to, and hopefully it just means that I will be picking from stuff that I genuinely really want to read. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and hopefully, as I said, this will give me some momentum of some kind. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope you found this cleansing and not too frustrating. I really enjoy watching unhauls, but I know it can be also like upsetting or frustrating when people unhaul your favourite books. I'm sorry if I've done that, but I hope you enjoyed and found this video, as I said, like cleansing and enjoyable rather than annoying. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you in another video. Bye!
you.